Why is it that another little boy is dead because he was gay? Not 3 weeks ago, I go into out of the closet to buy some dance pants, and I'm being accosted, laughed at, called names, and out of the closet for not being in the closet. This is crazy to me right now. And I'm not really mad at people who are hateful and homophobic. I'm mad at people who are in my community who call themselves my friends, but then they don't say anything when they get on BART and they see some man laugh at a kid or an older person or a transgender or a drag queen or whatever you want to call them, and you don't say anything. I'm mad at women who want to give up some coochie to a person who they witness being homophobic, because what do you think a homophobic man is really saying? They're saying, I think it is so detestable for a man to want to bring himself down to the level as a woman that he would choose to touch a penis, choose to wear some makeup, choose to walk that way, choose to wear pink, choose to do whatever, and let me go get my eyebrows done by Dazié and then give some pussy to the person who's going to sit up here and tie him up in the woods and leave him for 3 days strangled and dead. What's wrong with you? And you know, it doesn't have to be all upsetting and all angry, and you don't have to take it personal, but it is real personal to me, and it is personal to you, except for you don't get it because you don't want to think about the fact that I have a scar right here on my face because I had to protect the body of my lover while he was being kicked unconsciously. And I had to make a choice between bleeding on him or letting him be kicked unconscious. I don't think you want to think about it or say that you want to call yourself my friend, but you don't want to know that when I was 18 years old, and there I am with my friend who's HIV positive, who gets called a faggot on the street, and when he decides to defend himself and say F you to these boys who want to call him a faggot on the street, they determine that they're going to jump us. Then they determine that they're going to break a bottle over his face. He can't see because he said, no, it's not okay for you to call me a faggot on the street. He can't see anymore. And I had to sit there and decide, do I let this man bleed in the street with their face in an alley, or do I hold his face in my lap and wait for the ambulance to get here and try to fight off people who are trying to kick me? They were trying out for this hateful, bashing stuff. It was a tryout when they made a gay joke in front of you. It was a tryout when they laughed. It was a tryout when they were a little boy and they were making fun of another little boy. It was a tryout. A tryout. And when you didn't do anything, you told them, get on the team. Get on this hateful, homophobic, evil, gay-bashing team. And the presidents of that team, the leaders, the quarterbacks, they're murderers. They're murderers. Kids die. I have to make a choice every single day about what I'm going to wear and which streets I'm walking down in Oakland so that I can avoid being harassed, so I can avoid having to either be made small or I can avoid having to defend myself, which will lead into something violent. And trust me, I have my pepper spray, I have my knife in my back pocket, and I will cut you first. And when I'm in jail for cutting somebody on the street, even if we just have to wait for it to go through trial for them to figure out that I was defending myself, that is time that I don't need to lose. And how many people you think are getting jumped and beat up and raped and mistreated in jail because they're gay? And let's not talk about how these politics are used to control women, and how these politics are used to control people who are transgender or queer or who identify any way that they want to identify. Like, I'm not trying to be politically incorrect or correct, but the point is that I have the right to choose to be who I am and walk how my hips go this way and that way when I walk. Well, that's how I walk. That's how I do it. Get into it. You figure it out. I'm tired of sitting up here. I'm protecting you from me. Who's protecting me from them? Nobody. And people, you want to light up a candle in March. Yes, you should be there on Sunday in Oakland at MacArthur and Grand to help show the larger community with your candle light, with your one body and whoever friends that you have, that it is not okay to us that this happened anywhere in the world. You should show up. You should not go to work that day or be late for church that day or leave whatever early that day or, stop giving head to your lover that day, or go out into the light with sunglasses on because you're hungover from Saturday that day. Do something. Say something. And do it the next day. And go to and call up Kuov and tell Kuov that you need access to self-defense so that you know how to protect yourself if one of these fools comes up to you. And call up your cousins and your uncles and your daddies and your boyfriends and your neighbors and your girlfriends and whoever and the dude at the school, and you say, you know what, this is not okay. I witnessed this by you 9 years ago. That wasn't okay with me, actually. I'm sorry I'm late and you may think I'm tripping, but that was not okay. I think you looked at that boy a little funny. I think you looked at that woman a little funny. I think you made them feel small. That is not okay. Put them on restriction. Don't give them any more coochie. Tell them, no, you know what? You don't know how to respect people in the world? Well, then you're not going to get loved by me in the bedroom. Show up. Do something. They're trying out. They're trying out to see if it's okay to hurt other human beings. And they live next door to me. And they live in my building. And they smile when I walk out. And they want to laugh at me when I walk in. And their kids want to look up at me like, oh my God, is that a gay person? Today. This happens today. What are you going to do about it? Because I shouldn't have to do it by myself. I should not have to do it by myself. You should be helping me. And don't sit up here and put a comment on my page about how you like this, or a comment like, wow, I really agree with you. Why don't you take that time that you were going to spend on me, telling me how great I am while patting yourself on the back? I'm not trying to be a heavy, but, you know, I'm sorry. Every rose has a right to its thorns. I'm not trying to be a heavy, but why don't you go comment on somebody's page you know is homophobic? Why don't you go comment on somebody's page who you know has politics or ideas that aren't right? Don't tell me, because I know I'm right. I don't need to hear that you like this. I need you to do something about it. Don't tell me anything. The biggest compliment I can see is no comments on my page and comments on somebody else's. Tell me that you like this or this is good. Do something about it. Figure it out.